Thank you for tuning in to The Solution is You. I hope that you are doing well. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to visit my channel. If you find value within my videos, then don't hesitate to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you choose. With that, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Now, the topic for today is intimacy, stalkers, and weirdos. Now, what is intimacy? Well, the definition is inmost thoughts or feelings proceeding from, concerning, or affecting one's inmost self, closely personal. So, in other words, it's the closeness and togetherness in a relationship between partners. Intimacy in a relationship is very important. It allows one to share their feelings and thoughts, also to show affection through touch, and also where sex is involved, you can relieve some stress. And although intimacy is known to occur between partners in a relationship, intimacy can also take place between close associates. So this applies to anywhere where you have developed a close relationship with someone. This could be with a coworker, a friend, or in some instances, a complete stranger. Although intimacy amongst friends and other people outside of our normal significant others can be appealing and in some instances arousing, it can also bring about some unintended purposes. So today I have 4 scenarios that I would like to present. These are scenarios in which you may have found yourself in at one time or another. Now, it may not be the exact scenario for you, but it may be close enough. Let's go ahead and get into these scenarios right now. Scenario 1, Netflix night. So you are a guy and you and your woman get into it pretty often. So y'all argue back and forth. You have your own place. She has her own place. But she's looking to move in with you pretty soon. Now, she's a good woman, but you are just not ready to have a woman move in with you. And the reason for y'all's arguments is that she's accused you of talking to other women. And so you try to convince her that she's the only one for you. Now, she has never saw you talking to any other women, but she is just assuming because you're not quick to move her in that you are talking to some other woman. So you tell her, all right, I'm going to give you about a month to kind of think things through and to calm down, and then we'll take it from there. So she agrees, and it's life as usual. So every time you get off work, you head over to the local gym. At the local gym, you meet another woman who is also working out, and you develop a friendship because she's there every day that you arrive. So you're just having casual conversation, which you talk about your relationship and she talks about her relationship, and you mention how you and your girl have this on and off again type of situation going on, and your workout partner is just listening. And so she begins to help you, work out. So she's helping you with the weights, and she's kind of giving you guidance on your workout routine. And so everything seems to be normal. Now, this woman seems to do a very good job with helping you out with your workout routine. So she seems to be so professional that you give her your number one night so that you can link up again and go through that same routine at the gym. So about a month has passed and you and your girl are talking, and y'all decide that it's best that she go ahead and move in. So she's moved all of her stuff into your house, and on this one particular night, you agree to cook dinner and have a Netflix movie ready because you wanted to celebrate her moving in. Plus, it was a good opportunity for you to calm her nerves by going the extra mile to show that you're all in with you two. So you have the steak ready, the mashed potatoes are nice and moist. You also have a nice champagne available, and you have the Netflix movie ready to go. And then suddenly you have a knock at your door. So your woman's in the room, you're about to relax with her, but then you get that knock at the door. So you tell her to, stay put. The movie's about to take off. You're just going to answer the door and come right back. So you go to the door and open the door, and the woman from the gym is standing right outside of your door. Now she's looking all good. Her hair's done, got her makeup on, got one of the shortest skirts that she could find on, smelling good, and she's just standing there right outside of the door. And you're thinking to yourself, how did she get your address? So you ask her, how did you get my address? And she's saying, don't worry about that. I'm here for you. Are you ready for your workout or what? So at this point, your girl is in the background asking who is at the door. And at this point, you get nervous. So you step outside of the door and close it too. So you proceed to ask her, how did she get your address? And that it was wrong of her just to come over unannounced. And so at this time, your girl has come to the door and looked out, and she says, I knew I shouldn't have moved in with you. At that point, all hell breaks loose. Man, you never know what life has in store for you. Scenario 2, enjoying the breeze. So you are a woman and you just broke off the relationship with your man of 1 month because you found out that he was a beta male. This is a guy who was highly emotional. So you're at work, and at work, you've developed a close friendship with one of your male coworkers. So this is a guy that you see from time to time, and he always seems to give you the eye. So every now and then you would meet up in the lunch area to have a conversation or two about just everyday things at the job. So when you go back to your desk, your phone has been blowing up for the past 2 weeks, and it's your ex-boyfriend leaving various messages on your voicemail for you to give him a call, and he's talking about how much he loves you and misses you, and he's sending you all kind of emojis and different types of pictures of him, and you never answer any of the calls. As a matter of fact, you send him texts telling him to stop calling you and to stop texting you. No matter how much you tell him to stop calling and texting, he continues to call and text and leave voicemails. So Each day you show up at work and you see your male coworker, y'all go into the lunchroom and y'all have conversations about the guy blowing up your phone. So on this particular day, your coworker asks if you want to go out for a walk. And so you just going out for a walk around the building and walk around the parking lot. This is during your lunch hour. So you agree. So you two, you walk around a couple of times and you look at your watch and you determine that you still have about 30 minutes left so you can afford another lap or two. And while you're walking, you're telling your coworker that your ex-man is still blowing your phone up. So he takes a look at your phone and say, "Oh, this dude must be crazy." So you say, "Yeah, I had to let him go because, he was too emotional." So y'all are walking and having a good time and having conversation, and you notice when you look over to the right as you're walking through the parking lot, a guy is looking at you from a parked car. And you notice that this was your ex-boyfriend who was just sitting in the car the whole time while you two were walking, calling you while he's looking at you. So when you get ready to pass the car in the parking lot, he sticks his head out the window and say, "Why aren't you answering your phone?" So you keep walking. You never know what to expect from these weirdos. Scenario 3, unexpected delivery. So let's say you're a guy and you have a wife and y'all have a pretty huge family. You got like 5 kids and your wife is expecting one more child. So you guys own a caravan. As a matter of fact, this is your only vehicle. So it's roomy, it's just right for the kids. And oftentimes your wife does a lot of the driving. You work from home. And your wife uses the vehicle to go transport the kids back and forth to school and to go to the store to get snacks and things like that. So before you started working from home, you owned a second vehicle, which was a Dodge Ram truck. And you would take that truck to go to the job. But since you have an addition to the family and you're working from home, you and your wife decided that it would be best if you sold the truck and just stuck with one vehicle. That way you guys could save some money for the child when the child arrived. But before, when you had your truck and you would pull off to work, one of your neighbors across the street, which is a woman, would always be checking for you. So she would always look at you and make comments about how fine you are or whatever, and wondering when she could get her turn. And she had a few sisters that would be over, and all of them would be laughing and making comments about you. And so when you would go out with your buddies and when you would go out to work, she seems to always be outdoors waiting for you. And so now that you are indoors working for yourself at home, she doesn't hardly see you as much. So from time to time, you would look out the window and you could tell that she's anticipating you coming out, but since you don't come out, she doesn't stay out as long as she used to. So one day you happen to go out to take the trash out, and You notice on your way out the door, your wife was coming in from the car, bringing in the children from school. And she walks right past you and not saying anything. She has a pretty serious look on her face. So you go out to the trash, you put the trash in the trash can, you look across the street, and you see somebody looking out the blinds from the house where the woman is usually checking for you at. So you look over, you notice she's looking out the blinds. You put the lid on the trash can, you turn around, you begin to go back inside of your house. But right before you go in, you take a glance over at the caravan that's sitting right in the driveway. And you notice there's some paper that's underneath the windshield wiper. So you go over, you take a look at the paper, you unfold it. And this is a letter from the girl across the street talking about how much she wants to let you have it and how she's been checking for you the longest and you've just been ignoring her and wanted to know when she could get her turn. So then you go back in the house and wonder how to position this with your wife. These stalkers sure do know how to mess up a good thing. Scenario 4, generous dinner. So say you're a woman and you're doing pretty good for yourself. You got a nice career. You're making some decent money. However, you are going through a divorce. You've been with your husband for about 10 years and things are just not working out. So you have your own place. You've moved out. So you got your own place. And your husband is cool with that. He does his thing, you do yours. So you pretty chill, you lay back, and you have all of this money to yourself. So you go out and treat yourself from time to time, and you figured that you would meet someone to take your mind off of your marriage. And so just keep in mind you in the middle of a divorce. So you meet this guy, conversation seems to be pretty decent, and you exchange phone numbers. So y'all have frequent conversations over the phone, and you let the new guy know, who is just a friend, you let him know that you are not looking for anything serious and that you just chilling for now. And you just doing anything it takes just to relieve your mind and to relieve stress. You're not looking for anything serious. So the guy comes over and you break him off and he goes back home. The next day you set up a date for dinner. So y'all meet at this nice restaurant and you're at the table already. He walks in, you see him, so you get up and you beckon him over to the table. He comes over, he gives you a hug. Each of you sit down. So y'all are talking and the food is delivered. Y'all eat. Everything is good. So when it comes down to paying the tab, you let him know that you got it. So you tell him, don't worry about the tab, you have it. So you go ahead and you lay down about $100 on the table plus tips. This is a pretty decent meal that you guys are eating. So you have a little bit more conversation. Then he walks you out to the car and then you two go home. So early the next morning, say around 7 a.m., you get a phone call and it's the guy that you went out on the date with, and he asking, "Are you up?" And you upset because you went to bed late the night prior, and you wasn't expecting a phone call this early. So he starts letting you know that he has something on his mind. So you ask him, what's on your mind? And he says that he thought it would be best if you two get married. So you look at the phone and you hang up on him. I hope you enjoyed today's message. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.